Hi, this is Youngbo Kim, professor in the computer engineering department. I'll teach web programming in this semester. And today I will announce some guidelines how to proceed this lecture in this semester. Because of the pandemic of the coronavirus, we are in bad situation. Thus, our semester will start March 16th, and our lecture will be held every Friday. Thus, this March 20th is the first week and first lecture. Because of the coronavirus, these two lectures should be provided by online. Thus, I prepared this online lecture in advance. Thus, today I will briefly introduce. In this semester we learn about HTML, especially HTML5, and CSS. We learn this one, CSS especially 3. This will be done before midterm exam. There's these two contents will be asked in the midterm exam. And after midterm exam, we learn about JavaScript, and this will be asked in the final exam. And we should be very careful in terms of the group meeting. Thus, in this semester, first time, there is no teamwork. Instead, you should do the individual assignment, and especially based on excuse me, YouTube. There are very excellent materials in the YouTube. Thus, I will recommend. Already, I recommend it. And in the Blackboard, those contents are introduced already, and also I will introduce later also. And some contents based on the web site, and I'll explain about it. And this one will be also guided later. And there's no teamwork in this semester. Okay, let's move to the window, your computer. You can refer to this. Okay, you can see this one. The URL is youngkim.net. Then you can see this very simple web page. This one is introducing briefly very short explanation about the lecture in this semester. As you know, our lecture room will be this one, but sometimes we'll use online lecture instead of the real lecture in this room. This is the syllabus for class number 1, and this is the syllabus for class number 2. And your time is here, but the lectures will be provided online. There's this time sometimes, especially in this March, this one is not meaningful. But from April, we should see in this room, in this time. Okay, let's look at the syllabus. This is the class number 1 syllabus. Okay, this probably is too small, so I'll try to enlarge a little bit. Okay, this one is the schedule for this lecture and some introduction about that. And here my phone number, my office phone number, and this is my smartphone phone number. And you are supposed to understand the C language or Python. Anyone, it doesn't matter. And this one is related to the JavaScript. Very similar to them. Thus, this one is prerequisite. This lecture is mainly targeted for the second grade computer engineering department students. Okay, this is the email and some website URL. You can refer to them. And my office, this is so small, and anyhow you can read this one with your PDF file later in the blackboard. Anyhow, my room number, office room number is this building, AI Center 801, and you can visit my office every Friday afternoon 1:30 p.m. until 3 o'clock. From 3 o'clock I have another lecture, as you know, class number 2. That class will be started from that time. As I introduced already, we learn in this semester HTML5 and the CSS3 and the JavaScript. And this jQuery is library of this JavaScript. There's at the last part of this semester we learn some of them. Okay, I'll skip others. And here in this semester we'll try to use many excellent contents from YouTube instead of your teamwork. And also I'm recommending you to use some editing tools, very simple editing tool I will introduce later, Notepad and Notepad++ editing. Okay, I'll describe here. Okay, later. And especially Visual Studio Code, I'm recommending that, and also that is introduced in the first PPT slide for this lecture, and that introduction video clip, that actually YouTube, that is introduced there, and you can refer to that. And in this semester we'll use this website w3schools.com, and this is very excellent website to learn HTML5 and CSS3 and JavaScript and many more, and you can study by yourself later after finishing this one. Okay, I'm recommending you to use other contents later, but we'll focus on their contents, HTML5 and CSS3. And especially for Korean students who are not very familiar with this English, and I wrote some guidebook. There's for foreign students, you don't need to use this one. And if you are very familiar, even though you are Korean students, if you are very familiar in terms of English, then you don't need to use this one. But if you are not very familiar with that English, then you can refer to this textbook. Actually, that is guidebook. Okay, and some assignment book, and this one is same with this one, and you can refer to other reference books, and I will introduce later also some PDF file you can access in the Blackboard later. And in terms of the assignment, number of individual assignment will be around 5 times, but that will be based on independent assignment instead of teamwork assignment. There will be 2 mobile quiz tests before midterm exam on time, and after midterm exam another mobile quiz test will take 2 times. The quiz test will do that. And probably you are very interested in this course grading, and this midterm exam that will be affecting 40%, and the final exam that will be 40%, and quiz and homework that will be 10%, and attendance 10%. If you are using online lecture, then automatically the attendance will be successful. And if we are using the offline lecture, then in that case I will check the attendance check. Okay, this is the syllabus of this lecture in this semester. March 20th, and according to the university guideline, these 2 lectures should be provided based on online. Thus, I will upload these contents later, and you probably, when you are watching this video, those contents, online contents, will be available. Also, that contents will be uploaded, if possible, in the YouTube. In the YouTube, you can access these contents later. In the first week, that is the first online lecture. I'm introducing web programming syllabus like this, and this one is related to this first lecture. And also I will introduce very simple website, and this is a sample website. That URL is wopen.com. Actually, I built this one using HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript, as well as some server-side script and database also. This is another URL, domain name, and you can refer to this one later. If you are Korean student, then you can use this domain name later. And in the first week, probably this is the first week, thus I will try to explain about these HTML elements and attributes and something more, including editors, and you can use this one in the website, and also those are some contents. Those are available in the Blackboard, and the YouTube contents will be also. In the second week, actually that is March 27th, we learn about HTML styles and CSS. This style is the cascading style sheet that is related to that, we'll learn later. And HTML links and classes, HTML JavaScript, we'll learn about that. And after that, we'll learn many other topics about HTML5. And right after finishing that HTML5, we'll learn about CSS. And before midterm exam, we'll complete the CSS contents, and we'll take the midterm exam. That is May 1st. Before that, we'll take first mobile quiz test. That is online, and mainly those are related to that HTML5 and the CSS3. And after midterm exam, we learn about JavaScript, and JavaScript, it will take a lot of time. There's most of the lectures for the JavaScript right after midterm exam, and the jQuery a little bit, and after that we'll learn JavaScript and some others, and right after finishing that, we'll take second mobile quiz test. And in the 15th week, that is the final week, and we'll take final exam. And in the final exam, we'll take the exam based on the JavaScript and jQuery. That's it. Okay, as I mentioned already, because of this bad coronavirus disease, no teamwork in this semester to avoid any possibility from that infection. And as I mentioned already, lectures in this month, March, all lectures are based on online. Because I'm providing online lecture now. Okay, let's move to other contents, and here, okay, I'll go back, and this is the website youngkim.net, as I mentioned already, and as I introduced already. Okay, so simple, just a single web page. And here you can see this linked site, and in Korean, this one, you don't need to worry about this Korean character, but for Korean students, you can refer to this domain name. But if you are foreign students, then you don't need to use that. Okay, sometimes I should check this OBS. This is the contents software, contents generating software, OBS. Okay, sometimes that is stopped automatically, thus I am checking. Okay, here I'll click. Then you can see this one is actually built by myself. This is Google advertisement for education. I inserted this one, and this is some books written by myself, and this one is the bulletin board to announce some message to you. Thus, any message will be announced here. Anytime with your smartphone, you can access my message to you. There's in two ways. One is in the Blackboard, you can refer to that message. Also, same message, you can refer to that message here. Here, as I mentioned already, I'm recommending many excellent YouTube contents here. This one is introducing the Visual Studio Code. There's you can refer to this. Also, this one is a tutorial for that. Also, this one is Visual Studio Code to use to write HTML5 and the CSS and so on. After this, it will take around here. I jot down that time here around 1 hour. Probably this one will be sufficient for the first week. And this one, another 2.5 hours it will take. This one will be used for the second lecture. Also, I am providing my message with this whiteboard, thus you can report to them also. This one is about HTML5. HTML crash course, absolute beginners, and you can click, then you can report to them. And also this one is about CSS. And also this one is HTML5. Anyone you can refer to them. For example, here I will try to click this.
Hey guys, welcome to the first video of my web development for Absolute Beginner series. This entire series is meant for anyone wanting to learn basic web design and web development.
Okay,
There's absolutely no
you can refer to that audio later. I'll try to enlarge a little bit anyhow.
Don't worry about having any kind of prior web development knowledge. This will be an ongoing course or ongoing series, and each video will focus on a different topic. So in this particular video,
Okay, you can refer to these contents later by yourself. This is the assignment. First assignment for the first week, and the second assignment for the second week, and you can watch anytime. Okay, later if there is another message, then I will update this one frequently, because you can refer to this one. Also in the Blackboard, as I announced already, you can see the same contents there. Okay, let's go back again, and you can see this was youngkim.net simple web page. This one is a Korean guidebook, as I introduced already, and if you are not very familiar to that English, then you can refer to this one. And this one is synchronized to our lecture. First we can refer to this one. And in the previous semester for Korean lecture, this one was used as a textbook. Thus you can borrow or you can take from your friends who took this course already. Okay, this is the site w3schools.com. You can type this w3schools.com, then you can see this one. There are many chapters. I'll call this, each one will be the chapter, and we have many chapters to learn. And let's click this one, then you can see in other format. And in this semester we learn about this. This is huge. This is containing huge contents. And also we'll learn this CSS, and we'll learn this JavaScript and jQuery. That's it. There are many other additional materials here. Thus you can refer to that. Some contents will be asked to read as a reading assignment. I will ask you later, and I will introduce later again. Anyhow, try to focus on that HTML and CSS, JavaScript, jQuery. Okay, I will click this one. Then you can see many chapters here. Okay, from here we'll proceed. This is the first chapter, and what is HTML and HTML tutorial, and some introduction, editors, many basic concepts about HTML. Those are introduced here, and a little bit more later, and those are advanced topics, and we'll learn about this, also this, and some other advanced topics here. Okay, each chapter. Okay, first one. This one is the first chapter. I'll call this is one chapter. Okay, let me check whether this one is stopped or not. Okay, still it is being recorded. There's no problem. Thus I will continue this introduction. Okay, I'll try to enlarge a little bit. Okay. Here you can see this one, HTML tutorial. The others just advertisement. You don't need to worry about that. Neglect. Here, go back to the previous one, and we can go to the next page. Okay, here, first lecture about HTML. What is HTML? HTML is the standard markup language for web pages. With HTML, you can create your own website. HTML is easy to learn. You will enjoy it. Due to these contents, it is very easy to understand because we are using these contents instead of any other book. And I will exactly following this one, because even though you are missing some lecture, you can refer to them. Okay, examples in every chapter. This HTML tutorial contains hundreds of HTML examples. For example, here, and this one is introducing some editor that is provided by this w3schools.com company that is located in the Europe. Northern part of the Europe, Norway, I think. That company is located in that country. Okay, with our online HTML editor, you can edit the HTML and click on a button to view the result. Example here. Okay, we learned this one in detail later, and this one is introducing the format of these contents. Okay, if you are clicking this one, you can see this one. Then if you are clicking this one, then this one will be executed, but this one is interpreted already, and this one is showing the result here. But if you are changing something here, okay, this let me try to type in any arbitrary characters here, then you can see the result of that updated HTML contents here. You can try. We learned these HTML tags here. Those are HTML tags or HTML elements. We learn. Okay, and I'll be back. And this one is so good in terms of the reference materials. Thus, anytime you can click and you can refer to that helpful references. Okay, this one is also providing some HTML examples, and here you can see many examples, and in each chapter we'll see many examples, but those are aggregated together and you can refer to them later. Also, still this one is introducing the format of these contents. Also, this one is providing HTML exercises. There are many exercises provided, and you can try by yourself to understand better. Here, exercise, and this one is showing the answer for that. Show answer. You can submit answer, and this one is showing that answer. Thus, you can improve your understanding. Okay, also I'll be back. And HTML quiz test. Also, this is another section provided by this wcx.com, and this one is still explain about the organization of these contents, and this one is providing the HTML quiz test, and I may refer to this one in our real online quiz test, and you can start HTML quiz, then you can take that quiz test for practice. And many references, HTML references, later CSS references, also JavaScript references. Those references are provided. Or you don't need to worry about this one. This one is for their main business to make some money after providing this diploma, HTML exam, and to get this online certification, you should pay, and you don't need it at all. And you can click this one, then we can go to the next chapter. This is the format, almost done in terms of that explanation of that format. What is the HTML? Okay, the light is turned off automatically. Thus I will try to move, then it will turn on automatically. Okay, what is HTML? This one is introductory chapter, and this one is trying to explain the HTML basic contents. HTML is the standard markup language for creating web pages. This HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, HTML. And this one is describing the structure of a web page, and this one is consisting of a series of elements, and the HTML elements tell the browser how to display the contents, and these are represented by tags. Sometimes we can call that HTML tag with this HTML element. Also, or vice versa, we can call HTML tag with these HTML elements. HTML tags label pieces of content such as heading, paragraph, table, and so on. And the browsers is interpreting that HTML tags, and we can see the result. Okay, simple HTML document here, very simple. Like our human body, our body is like this: head part and the body part. This is composed of head part first and the body part here. That is the HTML. And we learn what contents what elements can be put in here in this header section, and what kind of elements or tags can be put in this body section. Okay, you can try. Here you can